what happens? What thoughts arise as you become aware of a sensation? What emotions arise as you become aware of the sensation? See if your mind has a habit of creating any stories about your pain or any emotional resistance, like anger, frustration, or denial. See if these habits might be pulling you away from the present moment, from a pure awareness of a sensation in your body. There is no need to change or judge anything. You can simply observe what is happening in your mind and emotions, and then bring your awareness back to the present moment, back to your body with kindness and compassion for yourself. Now we bring attention to your legs or knees. How do your legs feel right now in this moment? Do they feel hot? Do they feel cold? Do you have trouble feeling anything? However it is feeling right now, just bring your awareness to it. Let the sensations be and bring awareness. Whether you're experiencing a pleasant sensation or an unpleasant sensation, like stress or pain, just whatever is happening is okay right now. As you breathe in and out, you can say to yourself silently, breathing in, I am aware of my legs and my knees. Breathing out, I smile to my legs and my knees. Remember to any sensation you have in the body, notice it, watch it. Does it change when you bring awareness to it? What happens? Next, we're going to bring attention to the hips. How do your hips feel right now in this moment? Do they feel tense? Do they feel itchy? Do you have trouble feeling anything at all? However it is feeling right now, just bring awareness to it. Whether you're experiencing a pleasant sensation like relaxation or an unpleasant sensation like stress, whatever's happening right now is okay. Just fully accept it in this moment. We practice embracing each part of our body with love and attention. Again, breathing in, say silently to yourself, I am aware of my knees, my legs. Breathing out, I smile to my legs, my knees. There's no need to change or judge anything. You can simply observe what is happening in your mind and emotions, and then bring your awareness back to the present moment. Now we're going to bring attention to the hips. How do your hips feel right now? Whatever you're feeling right now, bring awareness to it. Next is your chest, your upper body, your shoulders. Bring attention to that part of your body. How does it feel right now in this moment? Do you have trouble feeling anything at all? However you're feeling right now, bring awareness to it. Let the sensations be and just sensation or an unpleasant sensation. Whatever is happening right now is okay. Breathe in and say to yourself, I am aware of my chest, my shoulders. Breathe out, I smile at my upper body. If you have a sensation in your body, notice it, watch it. Does it change when you bring awareness to it? What happens? Does it get more intense? Less intense? What thoughts arise as you become aware of the sensation? What emotions arise as you become aware of the sensation? There is no need to change or judge anything. You can simply observe what's happening in your mind and emotions, and then bring awareness back to the present moment, back to your body with kindness and compassion for yourself. Now let your awareness spread through your entire body, allowing every part to be relaxed. Feel heavy, soft, sinking into the chair. Thank you for taking a few minutes to take good care of your body and your mind with kindness and mindfulness. When you are ready, you can slowly start to wake up your body by bringing your awareness back to the room. You can start by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. When you're ready, bring yourself back to your position. Open your eyes.
How do you guys feel when they is it relaxing? And you can do this practice just in a few minutes and go up the body and become aware of every part of the body, and that's a way to connect to yourself entirely. Did anyone have any judgments come up? The minute that she said the hips, I noticed I started judging. My hips are so wide, like, and then when she said, bring it back, don't judge it, you know, become present, make awareness, smile at, then I was like easier to let go. No one had any judgments about any parts of their body?
No, I have a lot of pressure on my sciatic nerve right now. I think I told you.
Okay.
It hurts like hell, but when she was talking through it, I was calm and I didn't have any judgments. I just kept focusing because I saw my son.
Okay.
I was trying to do exercise yesterday with him.
Okay.
So.
But you noticed that the
Yeah.
relaxation
But it
helped relax
relaxed,
you?
right.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else? Anything come up? Was it just total relaxing? Okay.
I like a bit more
Okay. Excellent. Very good. So this is called the body scan meditation, and usually you would do it laying down. You can take off the lights, or you can just close your eyes, and you can focus. And there's different things that you can do. You can tense up each body part and feel what it's like to be tensed, and then drop it and let it relax. That's a really good way to release tension, and you can do that from the toes all the way up to your head. When you get to your face, you can squinch all of your nose and your ears and everything, and then let it go. And it's a really easy, quick way to get into the body and release tension. So we're gonna hand out a practice for this week, and your homework is, yes,
I was late, so I don't know if you spoke about it, but I wanted to ask you, I did the homework and I was not able to figure out the
the
yeah.
scoring?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at that with you in a minute. The scoring's on the back, but we'll go through that, okay? So the questionnaire that I handed out last week, do it again this week and see if anything changed. This is a practice log for you to log your sensations, your thoughts, your emotions after you do the body scan. So just, you can even do it when you wake up in the morning before you even get out of bed and sort of take note of your body when you wake up. Sometimes people wake up stiff, sometimes people wake up really tired, and you might want to try it a day or during the night and see what changes with the same activity at a different time during the day. You can also do it with a friend, and one of you say it out loud to somebody, and then they can say it out loud to you to see maybe you can relax that way. It's a very relaxing technique. And we want to relax into the body. Notice how Adriana kept saying, bring your awareness. What is the importance of awareness? What does that keep us in the present? Remember what I said last week about the ego. The ego wants to remind you of the past and the future. You're not good enough, you don't have what you're supposed to have, I want more, when I look this way. The present moment is all we have. So no moment will ever be repeated again. And so if we stay present with our breath, with techniques like this, we bring awareness to what's going on, it helps us relax through, especially during stressful moments.
I think I realized, we did the first week, this was the opposite day.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this one yet.
Okay.
That's the one that says body scan at the top, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna split the room in half. So, right here, this side of the group of the room, or you be on this side, so we make it even. So you guys are going to be, you're going to actually do the practice. So you're gonna learn a little song in a second. And you guys are not gonna do it, but you're gonna think it, okay? So what we're gonna do is an exercise in neuroplasticity. Many, many years ago, it was believed that the brain didn't change. Once your brain was, that's what it was. We now know that the brain changes itself. And one of the big things with mindfulness and all of the studies that have come out, whether it's with meditation, like monks that meditate, religiously, or people that just do it in a controlled environment for a few weeks, is that the brain changes itself. And it becomes more neuroplastic, more malleable. And different parts of the brain are associated with different parts of happiness or well-being in your life. So we have the prefrontal cortex, and there's a right side and a left side. And the right side is more related to positive, and the left side is more related to negative. So on brain scans, these areas of the brain show when someone's experiencing more positive experiences that the right side lights up versus when you're experiencing more negative. So we now know that we can actually train the brain, and that's what all of these activities are used for, to train the brain to make ourselves happier. Someone said that they were more patient this week. So the ongoing effect of these practices actually changes our brain so that these can become now our new normal. Okay? So they did studies where if you do an activity or you think about doing an activity, that eventually you can train your brain and you have the same effect. Okay? So we're going to use our fingers. So your thumb, not a drawer. So your thumb is going to be 1, your second finger is going to be 2, your middle finger 3, ring finger 4, and your pinky 5. Okay? So this side of the group is not going to actually move their fingers. You're going to envision, and you can look at your hand, you're going to envision it moving. I'm going to call out a number, and you're going to envision it moving. You guys are actually going to do the activity. Okay. So the sequence is going to be, and I'll write it on the board so you have it. 1, 1, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. Okay? So for this group, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5.
This is one, right?
The thumb is 1. So I want you to repeat that a few times. This side of the room, you're not actually going to move the fingers. You're going to focus on the sequence and learning the sequence without moving your hands, without doing it. You got it? Just keep practicing. So 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. Just keep repeating that. And you guys just think about your fingers moving and repeating that sequence without actually doing it.
It's just 'cause, like, my fingers are so stuck together.
It's okay. We're just doing an activity to show that the brain can train itself. Research has shown that groups of people that actually do an activity versus others that think about doing the activity, concentrate with awareness and focus, actually have the same results. So you can actually be at your desk thinking about certain things and imagining yourself, let's say, on the treadmill, or imagine yourself on that vacation spot, or being happier, being kind to someone, being more compassionate with yourself. And it changes the brain as much as if you were actually to engage in the practice. So if we did this activity over 6, 7, 8 weeks, as are done in the studies, we'd eventually see that each of you learn the sequence and can probably do it the same, with the same amount of practice, thinking and doing, even if this group didn't do it. So we have the ability to change our brain with these practices just by changing our thoughts. So we can actually train ourselves to become more patient, more kind, less judgmental, more compassionate, more relaxed, just by being in control of our thoughts. Okay? Anyone want to volunteer the sequence without looking at the board? You want to?
Oh, and I also, I saw the neuroplasticity, that when you say like, you, like thinking about doing something without doing it. Sorry. There was like a study that it can change the body too.
Absolutely, athletes.
People were like thinking about like doing an exercise and it increased their muscular mass
Without even doing it, absolutely. Those are some of the pioneering studies in neuroplasticity, and absolutely, you can change your physical body just by thinking. So athletes were put on bikes versus others were just sort of walk through the increase of their improvement of the physical activity, and their body responded the same way as if they were doing it. So it's amazing the control we have, and that's the mind-body-spirit connection. But oftentimes, we're just so worried about the next thing that we're not worried about right now, or we don't want to necessarily experience a trauma or a pain that we disconnect. So the more and more that we connect, the more sort of growth and connectedness we have between the mind and the body. But absolutely, those were some of the pioneer studies, and fascinating to think that I don't have to go to the gym and that I can actually have the benefits.
So, I have to do it or? just-
You can do it. I was just demonstrating that these are sort of, obviously those are controlled studies, and you know, they did them with monks, they've done them with a lot of people in controlled environments. But if you think about the sequence, you might find yourself thinking about the sequence later and then doing it and saying, oh, I learned it. So we do, if we focus and imagine us doing an activity, it's just as effective over time when we train our brain. So imagine everything you can train your brain to do.
So,
It's somewhat limitless.
so what is,
1, 3, 4, no, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, 2, 4, 5,
2, 3, 5,
2, 3, 5, 2, 5.
Okay,
1, 1.
awesome.
that's right. 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5.
So we're gonna do, just before we go, because we definitely want to, I'm sorry that Liz left, a mindfulness activity, again, with food, because that is one of the big things that I heard earlier. Someone goes, oh, I have to go eat lunch before it starts. And I immediately said, oh, he's gonna scoff down his food. Oftentimes, we're in the drive-through, we're eating, we're listening to the radio or talking on the phone, we're eating our burger. It's like so many things are going on. We've detached from the act of eating. And there's nothing more grounding to the body than eating. Okay? So you can, in essence, ground your body through certain foods. What kind of foods do you think would be grounding?
Fruit.
Potato?
Nuts? Yes. Fruits, why?
Fruit like
That's
Tomato.
That's it.
strawberries.
Okay, the seeds, so seeds and nuts are grounding because they're the root of the tree.
That's
Vegetables, but which vegetables?
The ones that come from the ground, like
Yes.
corn.
Sweet potato, exactly. So when you're feeling a little disturbed up here, the choice of the food that you eat, if it's grounding because it grows from the ground, will help you get grounded. You get those qualities. Just like if you eat something like popcorn, popcorn has a lot of air. It's going to accelerate the thoughts. It's going to make you probably more disconnected from the body. So we can start to focus not only on the effect of food in our body, but when we're making choices, is this food going to give me a grounding quality? Is it going to relax me? Is it going to make me sweeter? Perhaps I noticed last week some people told me that they noticed that the orange was sweeter after they became intimate with it. So I brought some almonds. You're going to take 2 almonds. Don't put them in your mouth. We're going to do a mindful activity. You're going to tell me in a minute. Okay, so you're going to take 2 almonds. The nature of almonds are to ground. So you can pick nuts and seeds if you need to get grounded and more centered. So it's easy to have in your desk, you know, and grab a handful of nuts. Okay? But we're going to do 2 almonds. The first one we're not gonna eat. The second one we're gonna eat. So the first one we're going to connect with, and I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to just touch it and feel the shape. Does it remind you of something? Is it pointy? Is it hard? Is it round? Is it rough? Connect with the shape. Connect it with your hands. What do you feel? And bring the awareness to the almond so you can really connect with it. Next, I want you to smell it. So keep your eyes closed. Smell it. What does it smell like?
Stale.
Okay, is it woodsy? Is it stale? Does it smell different than what you expected?
It smells like peanut, unless that's like something peanut.
Does it remind you of something you've smelled before? Does it transport you to nature? Connect with it through your sense. Does it smell salty? Don't taste it. Just connect with it through your hands and your scent. Is it making anyone hungry? Okay, now put that one down and grab your other one. And this one you're going to put in your mouth. You are not going to eat it. So lick it, swoosh it around. Does it taste salty?
Yeah.
Does it taste bitter? Just from what you can conjure, from sucking on it, moving it around in your mouth. Does it feel different in one side of your mouth than the other? I'm seeing some faces that are not enticing. Don't eat it. Do not chew it.
Can I take it out? It just tastes like this tea that my mom makes.
Okay, so keep with that. We're going to share in a minute. You don't have to put it back in. Swoosh it around. Do you even want to eat it?
No.
No.
So nobody wants to eat it.
I wish this were for chocolate cake.
Okay, if you want to eat it, go ahead and eat it. If you don't want to eat it, you can take it out. So what happened?
There's like this tea, I don't know what it's called, that my mom, sometimes when I have like the flu or something and I'm really kind of cold, she makes it and she's like, if you don't like the taste, put honey. So she knows to add honey before she gives it to me.
Okay.
It's just like a, like
Did you feel that when you were smelling it or just when you put it in your mouth?
No, just when I put it in my mouth, but when I smelled it, it smelled like, you know that wood that the wood people like cut with one of those electrical saws things?
Okay.
Yeah. A part of it smelled like when we first like chop it.
Oh,
Okay.
sawdust.
Sawdust.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
so it tastes like that. Like
Okay.
I could taste that.
Okay. Did anyone eat it? Did you like it? What was that?
I did.
Oh. So sometimes if we connect with the food, it's going to conjure up memories. It may actually dissuade us from eating something if we play with it a little before. Think about how this could affect. Before you guys got here, I hadn't eaten all day. So I took a whole handful, mindlessly, and was eating it. And when I was smelling it, I wasn't even really interested in eating it, and I did it. If we took some time to connect to some of the things, because sometimes we're just eating so mindlessly, it's just to fill that hunger. But if we stop and we get grounded and we're centered, we might realize that we actually don't even want that. It's not enticing. Or it could limit, maybe I would have eaten 3 instead of 30, and it could limit